Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some exciting news that could be adding another duration of T-bill to this list right here very soon. I'll give you a hint. It will be right in between this 4 and this 8-week Treasury bill. This is something that many of you might not have caught, and that is because it came out in the report from the Treasury Borrowing Advisory Committee. This is a committee that meets quarterly to discuss things having to do, obviously, with U.S. Treasuries. You can see right here that the Treasury Borrowing Advisory Committee, or the TBAC, presents their observations, their thoughts to the Treasury Department quarterly, and it mostly has to do with recommendations on technical debt management issues. For those of you wondering who exactly comprises this committee, here is the list. So basically, it's a bunch of senior representatives of banks, hedge funds, institutions, all sorts of different things that have to do with, obviously, finance. You can see there's the chair member, the vice chair, and the rest of them from all sorts of different companies. As I said, Bank of America, Vanguard. You see, we really get a variety. So if you want to go ahead and do your research on who exactly these people are, go ahead. But in short, they are the senior representatives of their prospective institution. Now that we have a little bit of background on who these people are, how often they meet, and what the committee's job is, let's have a look at this paragraph from their most recent report at the end of October that gives us some very important news. So let's go ahead and break this paragraph down. It says the committee's review of primary dealer feedback included near unanimous support for converting the 6-week cash management bill to a benchmark tenor. Now, many of you probably don't even know about this 6-week cash management bill or what it is, so we'll explain that in just a second. But basically, it is a version of a bill that they occasionally auction, and they're saying that they're willing to support converting it to a benchmark tenor, something that's auctioned on a consistent basis. And next up comes the reason why. You see, it says primary dealers felt there was sufficient support for the security and also observed that having an additional short benchmark tenor would likely support Treasury's overall borrowing strategy. So first off, they're saying there's plenty of support for it. The buying interest is there. And second off, they're saying they basically need more short-term T-bills. Currently, obviously, they have the 17-week, the 26-week, the 1 year, and then they have plenty of long ones going all the way up to 20 and 30-year Treasury bonds. But they sort of lack those short-term Treasury bills. They have the 4-week and the 8-week and the 13-week, but after that, it starts to jump up pretty quickly. Now that we sort of understand the committee's reasoning for wanting to introduce that 6-week T-bill, let's take a step back and take a look at what the 6-week cash management bill is. You can see here that the cash management bill, or the CMB, is still something that is sold by the U.S. Treasury. But one of the biggest differences, as I alluded to earlier a little bit, is the fact that they're not sold on a regular basis. They're not on that regular auction schedule that the rest of the Treasury securities are on. Rather, they're simply sold when the U.S. government needs to raise a little bit of extra cash in the short term. Another one of the biggest differences with the CMBs, or the cash management bills, is the fact that the minimum on these is $1 million. That's the minimum purchase amount compared to your regular Treasury securities, where the minimum is just $100 US. So these are a little bit more designed towards bigger institutional buying rather than your average investor. You can also see here that these treasuries can be issued with no or minimal prior notice, and this is exactly what happened just a few days ago. You can see here on the Treasury Direct website, if you go to their auctions page and scroll down, they have actually put in their upcoming auctions list a 42-day cash management bill. Obviously, 7 days a week times 6 weeks is 42 days. So this is exactly what we were just talking about with the 6-week CMB. Now that was uploaded on the 22nd of November. I'm not exactly sure when this video is going to be coming out because we have our monthly T-bill and T-bond update videos coming out towards the end of this month. So not sure when I'm going to slot this one in, but the auction for this TMB is going to be on the 28th of November. Sorry, that should have been CMB, not TMB in that last clip. But yes, the auction for the CMB will be November 28th, and we could be seeing more of these auctions on a more consistent basis if the Treasury Department decides to take the committee's advice and make this a consistently auctionable T-bill. At this point, you might be curious when the last time that a US Treasury bill duration was added, and so here's the timeline of all of the US Treasury bills. You can see that we started out with 13-week T-bills all the way back in 1929, and we have gone through plenty of changes. You can pause or slow down the video if you want to read these more specifically. One interesting little tidbit is that they actually took away the 1-year T-bill and then ended up adding it back. You can see it took them a while to add things like the 4-week T-bill all the way in 2001. And the most recent addition was the 17-week T-bill in October of 2022. One other crucial point that I want to point out is this part of the timeline right here in 2008. You can see that in December of 2008, the 4-week T-bill closed at a 0% rate. So if you're wondering just how special this point in time is right now, when we're having 5% rates on T-bills and T-bonds, this is a truly once-in-a-lifetime type of opportunity. I hope you did go on to enjoy today's video. If you learned something new, make sure to leave a like down below and leave a comment with any questions that you might have. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos like this one. But other than that, we'll see you in the next one.